Button declaration. We start by declaring a button, which is a fundamental interactive component in SwiftUI. The button takes an action parameter and a label view. Action closure. Inside the action closure, we define what should happen when the button is clicked. In this example, the action is to print the message "button clicked" to the console. This is useful for debugging or logging purposes. Label content. The label of the button is defined as a text view with the string "click me." This is the visible part of the button that users interact with. Styling. We use padding to add some space inside the button around the text, making it more comfortable to click. Background sets the background color of the button to orange. Foreground color changes the text color to white for better contrast against the orange background. Corner radius rounds the corners of the button, giving it a smooth, modern appearance. Button declaration. We start by declaring a button with an action and a label. The action is the code that runs when the button is clicked. Action closure. Inside the action closure, we increment the click count state variable by 1. This keeps track of how many times the button has been clicked. Label content. The label of the button is built using an stack, which arranges its children in a horizontal line. An image view is used to display a system icon, which visually indicates that clicking the button will add or increment something. A text view with the string "click me" is placed next to the image. Both the image and text have their foreground color set to white for contrast against the background. Styling. This text dynamically updates every time the click count variable changes. The string "click times" is displayed, where click count is replaced by the actual number. In this code, we're creating a simple, unstyled button in SwiftUI. Let's break down what each part does. Button declaration. We start by creating a button with a text label "plain button." The button also has an action closure where you can define what should happen when the button is pressed. In this case, the action is empty, but you can add any functionality you need here. Plain button style. By default, buttons in SwiftUI come with built-in styles that give them a specific appearance. However, in this example, this removes any default styling, such as background colors, borders, or rounded corners, making the button look like plain text. Result. The result is a button that appears as plain text with no additional styling. It's minimalist and can blend seamlessly with other text elements in your user interface. In this code, we're creating a button in SwiftUI that comes with a default border. Let's go through the code. Button declaration. We begin by creating a button with the text label "bordered button." The button also has an action closure that defines what should happen when the button is pressed. In this case, the action is to print the message "button clicked bordered button" to the console. In this code, we're creating a toggle switch in SwiftUI that allows the user to enable or disable a feature. The toggle is styled to look like a button. In this code, we're creating a button in SwiftUI that triggers an action sheet when clicked. Button declaration. We start by creating a button with the label "show action sheet." When this button is clicked, it sets the showing action sheet state variable to true, which will trigger the display of the action sheet. Action sheet presentation. The action sheet modifier is used to present the action sheet when showing action sheet is true. The isPresented parameter binds to the showing action sheet variable, controlling whether the action sheet is visible. Action sheet configuration. Inside the action sheet modifier, we define the action sheet itself. Title. The title of the action sheet is options. Message. A message is displayed under the title, instructing the user to choose an option. Buttons. The action sheet includes multiple buttons, each performing a different action. Result. When the Show Action Sheet button is clicked, an action sheet appears, offering several options. Depending on the user's choice, a different message is printed to the console. In this code, we're creating a menu in SwiftUI that offers multiple options, each capable of performing a different action. Let's break it down. Menu declaration. We start by declaring a menu with the title options. This creates a drop-down menu that the user can click to reveal several choices. Menu items. Inside the menu, we define 3 button elements, each representing a different option. Option 1, Option 2, and Option 3 are the labels for the buttons. Each button has its own action closure where you can specify what should happen when that particular option is selected. In this code, we're creating a link in SwiftUI that opens a website when clicked.